Hi everyone, welcome to SuttonsDaze. In recent weeks we have been discussing a lot about canning lids. As a lot of you may have realized over the course of the last 6+ weeks, canning supplies have become very difficult to purchase and to purchase in bulk. The normal supplier that I promoted for bulk canning lids actually went out of business. So while I was trying to source another bulk supplier, a friend, a subscriber, shared a link and we found another option. Instead of Bernard or Ball, they were Orchard Road lids, and it had free shipping on Amazon. Still does. I'll put a link below. But they're $75. So the price with free shipping, $75, regular mouth lids, it came up a little bit more than what we were used to, but considering the fact that they were very difficult to get our hands on, it was a good option to have. So while discussing those, we started discussing reusable lids. There are two kinds out there. There's Tatler and then there's Harvest Guard. And Harvest Guard is a newer company. It's basically the same product, okay? Just a different company offering it. So while we were discussing that, because it takes me a little while to change with some things, I said I wasn't wholly convinced how much money you would save by switching to this kind of lid. So I thought I would do some math and come back to you guys and tell you what I found, okay? Now, Tatler and the Orchard Road lids sell in the same quantity. Tatler actually sells in multiple different quantities, so does Harvest Guard, but you can't get 288 regular mouth lids with Harvest Guard. They have 250, but 288 lids is 24 dozen, and Tatler sells 24 dozen lids, the white lid with the ring, for $192. Okay. Harvest Guard sells 250 lids and rings for $165. Still, okay. Orchard Road sells 288, which is 24 dozen, for $75. Okay, but it's a single use. So it breaks down to, the Tatler lids break down at the 24 dozen, they break down to 66 cents a piece. That is for the lid and the rubber gasket, okay? 66 cents a piece. For the Harvest Guard, for the 250 for 165, it breaks down to 66 cents a piece. And the Orchard Road breaks down to, for just the lid, 26 cents a piece. Now, I am not an advocate of reusing the regular canning lids. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in risking my food. I don't believe in risking my hard work to reuse a canning lid. Do what you want. Your pantry is not my issue, okay? But I'm not going to risk it for me and mine. Now, I do reuse them for dry goods. You know, if I can pull one off and it's still in decent shape, then I will use it when I'm vacuum sealing something, or I'll reuse it when I just want something on top of the canning jar to keep the dry goods inside of it safe. That's the only time I'll reuse them, and it's still very rarely that happens. With the Harvest Guard, they're meant to be reused. Now, I found nothing on their website, and I have not received an email back from Tatler, nothing on either one of the websites for Harvest Guard or Tatler saying how many times you can reuse it. There has been much discussion that you can get 6 to 10 uses out of one of the rings. There's nothing on the websites that indicate that. These are reusable until they're not, period, okay? So if you're looking at overall cost long-term, let's subtract the learning curve that it takes for the Tatler and the Harvest Guard, because there is a learning curve. There's a little bit different of a process. Keep track, because 52 weeks of canning this time is not going to be a food. It's going to be how to use the Harvest Guard lids, okay? So when you're looking at it, okay, the Harvest Guard lids and ring combination is a little more than double the cost of a one-use lid, whether it's Orchard Road, Bernard and Ball, whoever, okay? You're paying almost double for it. However, you are getting to use it anywhere from 2 to 10 times. I guess it depends on how well you take care of the rings, how they're stored, you know, any number of factors. So overall, long-term, excellent return on your investment. If you are somebody who has 50 jars and you just continuously rotate those 50 jars, okay, then I think it's a really great thing to do. I really do. I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence, I'll tell you the truth, because there is stuff on my shelves that I'm still rotating through that is a couple, 2-3 years old. And so I'm not sure how the Harvest Guard hold up to that, and I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments if you have experience with it, how long you have had the Harvest Guard or the Tatler lids stay sealed, you know, how long they have done that. Now, obviously, for canning, okay, the reason they recommend the 18 months is because after that period of time, the food starts, the degradation of the food starts, okay? But it's very little, depending on the fact, if you keep it in a cool, dry, dark area, okay, then those factors matter a lot as to how well the nutritional value of your food in those jars lasts past that 18 months. It's not a matter of whether you can eat it. So it's not like it goes bad. There's no expiration date on it per se, okay? There might be for vinegar products, that kind of thing, but just canning, say, chicken, okay? I've had chicken on my shelf for up to 4 years, and it's perfectly fine, perfectly good. So that's not part of what I'm factoring in. What I'm concerned about is the longevity. So I would love to hear if anybody has had experience with, well, Harvest Guard is a pretty new company, but Tatler lids for a long time, for 2, 3, 4 years, and whether they've held up the way that the normal, typical metal lids do. I would love to hear your opinion on that. But I wanted to share that with you. I'll put links not only to the Orchard Road lids down below, but also to the Harvest Guard website and to the Tatler website. They both offer free shipping. They both have multiple different tiers of amounts that you can order. So for your information, though, I also priced out the wide mouth lids, okay? So for the Orchard Road, you could get 216 of the wide mouth lids for $80 a piece. That breaks down to, or $80, thank you. 216 lids for 80 bucks. And I believe it was free shipping. So that breaks down to 37 cents a piece. That's kind of pricey, but wide mouth is normally pricier, so I get that. The Harvest Guard has 250 of their lid and ring sets for $180. That is 72 cents a piece. And Tatler has 288, 24 dozen, for $216, and that is 75 cents a piece. So it, again, doubles your initial cost, but you should, in theory, be able to reuse these many, many times, and recoup a whole bunch of that money. We are going to walk through how to use them, using them, what you have to do differently, tips and tricks, all that kind of fun stuff in a video in the next day or two. That's going to be our 52 weeks of canning. I'm just canning water with these because I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes at this point. I will only use these lids for things that I know are going to be short-term canning projects, where they are definitely not going to be on the shelf for any extended period of time until I get a better feel for how long they can last. And I'm going to experiment with that and have fun with that. But in the meantime, it's not a bad idea to stock up on them. Do you know what I mean? If you have the funds, it's an investment. It's definitely an investment. So be sure to check out the websites. Check out how much, you know, it's going to cost to initially get into it. Tell me whether you would rather stay with the old style, because I'm old school. I like the old style. But I am going to start building up more of the reusable lids, whether they be Tatler or Harvest Guard. I'm going to start building up more of a supply on those, because I know I don't use a whole lot of wide mouth jars, and very many at all ever leave the house. So it might be a better investment for me to get the wide mouth reusable lids instead of constantly throwing away the money on the single use. Anyway, I digress. So I hope that this helped a little bit with figuring out whether or not it was affordable and the cost difference between them. I will lay all the links down below. Please feel free to check them out. And again, I would really love to hear your experience, especially if you have had reusable lids that you've used where they have not rotated through for 2, 3, 4 years, and how it held up over time as far as the contents in the jar. Everyone, I hope you have a spectacular day, and until next time, be safe.